Good morning and welcome to Queen's Court Conversation. I am here with Emmy-nominated Annette Pegler. I am so excited and honored that I'm delighted. She's beautiful, she's smart, she's so interesting, and I'm just happy to have you on. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here, and look at this. I mean, you can't beat that backdrop.
I love when I go on location because what it does is it gives me an opportunity to really enjoy myself as well as work, you know?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You can kind of vacation and work at the same time.
Yes.
And that's why I love living here, because before this I was in Memphis, which you could do that too,
Uh-huh.
but it's nothing like having the beach in your backyard. You can't beat that at all.
No, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. So, ladies, kings and queens, Annette has been nominated. I'm so excited. This is Women's Month. That's why I'm so honored to have you here.
Thank you.
The Women's Month, you're honored. You have been nominated for Emmy.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Oh my gosh. So that happened at the end of 2020. So,
Uh-huh.
with the pandemic.
Ooh, we're gonna talk about that.
Everything has happened. People laid off, just a number
Yes.
of things that happened with the pandemic. And I did a story on the history of Stax Records.
Okay.
So Stax Records, based out of Memphis, and produced some of the most exceptional
Wow.
artists.
Okay.
The Barclays.
Yes.
Just-
I remember.
Yes, and so I did a story
Uh-huh.
on the history
Yeah.
of Stax Records,
Uh-huh.
and I basically went to Stax. Right now it's a museum.
Okay.
So it's a museum.
I got to
right
visit
now.
that.
But yeah, oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Okay.
And I just basically told a story, and so how they came about, how they helped different artists get put on,
Uh-huh.
and also the struggles when they filed for bankruptcy.
Oh,
because
yes.
there was a lot of
Yeah.
turmoil that
Mhm.
happened. So that happened as well. And so I just told the story of Stax Records, and I got nominated for an Emmy, which was amazing.
That's amazing.
And I was so surprised.
That
'cause
is
It's just
wonderful.
my passion to tell stories.
But you know what? You've probably been working hard all your life. It was like overdue, okay?
I have been working 14 years in the industry,
Uh-huh.
14 years in broadcasting, started as a producer,
Wow.
worked behind the scenes, and then transferred in front of the camera. But I really enjoy just telling stories.
Yes.
It's really my passion.
Uh-huh.
And so to be able to do it in South Carolina now,
Yes.
is a blessing. I
That
don't take
is
it
a
for granted
blessing.
at all.
That is a blessing.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, brotherly love. I have family in Philadelphia. I love Philadelphia.
I love it too.
Yes.
It's filled with just good people.
Culture. Yes.
Food is amazing.
Awesome, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I love going home to visit just
Yeah.
because, Philly cheesesteak. I mean, you can't beat a Philly
You
cheesesteak.
can't. You
All
can't.
that
It's so
grease.
good. You can't.
Right? But yes, I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Uh-huh.
My father, though, he worked for GM. So
Okay.
we used to travel around a lot. So
Yeah.
we lived in Philly, we lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina,
Wow.
St. Louis, Missouri, Columbus, Ohio, and I went to school at Hampton University, proud HBCU. proud
Okay
advocate.
now.
Yes.
Yes.
Proud advocate. My dad is he's a graduate of Tuskegee.
Yes.
So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
great
You
school.
come from a great gene pool, okay?
Thank you. Thank you. My dad wanted me to go to Tuskegee,
Uh-huh.
and this is no shade to Tuskegee.
Okay.
It's a great school,
Uh-huh.
but I love being by the water.
Yes.
And when I went to visit, all they had was a chicken shack on the street.
No, that's
And
not working. That's not working for a queen. That's not working for a queen. You knew you had queen in you already. No.
Exactly. But it's a great school. But when I went to Hampton, it was beautiful that environment there,
Uh-huh.
and just being
Yeah.
around like-minded people
Yes.
was amazing.
And that's the key, like-minded people.
Yes.
So what has your father taught you or mentored you, or any phrases that you can remember that, like a father-daughter talk, that you could tell us about?
Yeah, so my dad, he's a hard worker. I
Uh-huh.
think that's where I get my hard work from.
Uh-huh.
Just being able to, get up at the beginning of the day, because it's hard.
It is.
Life is hard.
It is.
And so you need that motivation to be able to get up and to be able to do what you love every day.
Yes.
But to go to work and do a job. So my dad always told me to work hard, treat people with respect.
Yes.
Because that's missing.
That's
a lot
the
of
main
times.
thing right now.
And respect is so important. So
Especially now.
yes, especially right now. So treating people with respect, working hard.
Yes.
And my dad also told me to don't get used to compliments. So don't expect getting patted on the back.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we
Yeah.
want to get patted on the back.
Yeah.
And we want to get that praise.
For normal stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's okay to just do your job and to just keep focused
Yes.
and keep on the task at hand, and don't get caught up in wanting to be patted on the back
Yeah.
or the accolades. You know,
Yes.
stay humble and
Yeah.
stay true to yourself.
And that's basically what it is to stay focused and stay humble and stay
Yeah.
true to yourself.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And what
Yeah.
about your mom? Have you?
So my mom, yes, my mom did not go to college, but she is so smart. She's a tax specialist.
Okay.
She's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania as well.
Awesome.
And my mom, she's really busy right now because she's doing tax season. You know how
Oh,
that is.
yes, yes. Everybody, you better hurry and get those taxes in. April is almost here.
It's coming. That deadline is on its way, right? She told me to get mine in.
Yes.
I was like, okay, Mom. So my
Yes.
mom, she is the middle child of 5, came from a big family, and just a hard worker as well. Very just sweet spirit. I remember my mom helping me in so many different occasions, just being a journalist and moving from city to city. And helping me move, and it's nothing like a mother's love.
Nothing like
and
it.
She's
Nothing
instilled
like
that in
it.
me.
Yes.
Just being able to work hard,
Yes.
but also help people. I think
Yes.
that's where I get my service quality from. The rent due for living. Service is the rent due for living.
Yes.
And I live by
I love that.
Shirley Chisholm.
I love that.
I live by that.
Yeah.
And my mom has really instilled in that in me.
That's awesome. Because when you said rent, I thought about that, what you said, because I was going to ask you what profound messages has he given you, and you told me that's what it is. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So growing up, who were your mentors?
Oh my gosh.
Besides your parents, because they're awesome.
Right?
Okay, we're not all that lucky and blessed like her, but okay.
Yes, so growing up, oh my goodness, I look at ladies on the news that have done exceptional things, and I've been blessed to have really, really good mentors.
Yes.
In the business, Janelle Walton, she's no longer an anchor right now, but she's in PR. She's one of my first mentors. Angela Ingram, great mentor. This is out of Cincinnati. Diane King Hall, based in New York City.
Yes.
She's a great mentor of mine. And just some of the people that I look up to on the television screen. It's always good to see us.
Yes,
on
it is.
TV.
It is. That's I was
like
going to say that.
representing brown girls.
Yes.
And so Tamron Hall.
I love her.
Love her.
Yes, she's beautiful. She's talented. I felt that, when she left, I thought, it's going to be a loss.
Yeah.
But she came back stronger, better than ever. Go get it, Tamra. I love you. And she wears fabulous clothes, too. She's a queen.
Yes, yes. Chanel Jones on the Today Show.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome lady. I remember meeting her at a National Association of Black Journalists conference. And
I went
sometimes
there. I
when
love
people
that.
make
Yes.
that, get to that status of celebrity, sometimes people can be really nasty.
Yeah.
She was so down to earth, so nice, and it's just always reassuring to meet people like that because it lets you know that they don't forget where they came from.
Right, and that's very important because that keeps you grounded.
It does.
And it keeps you humble, and then, people really honor that, and they will honor you. The blessing comes full circle with that.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you something. Tell me about high school. Was high school good for you or bad for you? Can you remember something that stands out with high school?
High school, I feel like I was like the ugly duckling in high school because I was kind of like finding my way, but also like falling into like my look and everything like that. So high school was tough.
Yeah, it is a tough place, but it's good training ground though, isn't it?
Great training
You can get some good training ground for they learn.
Yes. So high school was amazing, but at the same time, I got teased. I got teased a lot. I went to a predominantly white high school.
Yeah.
And I was the only black girl in a lot of my classes. And I remember, people saying, like, why do you talk like that? Or, why do you wear your hair like that? Just little things.
Yeah, just little things.
And kids can be so cruel.
Yeah.
Teenagers now.
Yeah.
Teenagers can be so cruel. And, I remember, like, listening to different people and like, oh, she looks weird, and I have a birthmark on my face, and they used to call me Scarface, and now I've embraced this beauty mark, you know what I mean? And so,
which I don't even see, but anyway.
The makeup's covering it.
Okay.
But yeah, so like high school was tough, but I thrived. I've always been a writer.
Yes.
I love writing. I love journaling. So I was a part of the yearbook staff.
Okay.
I also was a part of SGA, student government. And I was also a fun fact. Queen Alice.
Fun fact.
Okay. I was named the first African American homecoming queen for Fort Zumwalt High School in O'Fallon, Missouri.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, for all those high schools, if you're looking at us now, you hear us now, look at Annette now, okay? All right now.
Don't be discouraged.
That's right. You can do it.
Yes, you can. So yeah, high school was great. It was a great
Yeah.
training ground, even though a lot of this, I did get teased a lot.
Okay.
But I was also like able to meet some really good people.
Yeah.
And develop some great friends. But also like really hone in on the journalistic skills, which is the writing, the communicating, that type of thing.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you. You know, what inspired you to get into writing? Did it start from high school, or was it something that you felt in your heart even before then?
I would say it was before high school. I would say kind of like middle school years, around like age like 11, 12.
Okay.
You know, I used to stay on punishment a lot.
Uh-oh. That means she's smart.
I used to stay on punishment a lot. And so what would happen was like my dad would be like, okay, you're grounded. And so I would be in my room. I'm like, what can I do, to keep myself busy?
Yeah.
I started writing. I started journaling. And I started like writing poems.
Okay. See, I told you she was smart.
And I just started writing, and it became therapeutic for me because I would be, on punishment. So I would have to like find a hobby. And so that was something that I love to do, to just write. And that turned into a profession for me. And
that's beautiful.
It's been a good journey. So it started actually middle school, just writing and just getting my thoughts out on paper.
Yes.
For anybody going through a struggle or going through hard times right now, sometimes just getting
getting it out on paper, it really helps.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yes.
And so that's where it started. Yep.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question now. This wasn't on my list, but can you remember your first poem?
Oh my gosh.
Can you remember it? Do you know what it was even about?
So I used to like to write poetry for music,
Uh-huh.
and so it was about
Music.
relationships and wanting to find a man.
Okay, because that's where I was going next. That was one of my questions coming up.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So, middle school,
Yeah, right.
your heart pitter
Yes.
patters.
Okay, yeah, I know that.
So,
yeah. So what I was going to ask you about, have you heard of Kevin Samuels?
I have heard of him.
Okay, so let's talk about
my
that.
goodness,
You're
that
a
man.
modern woman, you're a beautiful queen. He's coined this modern woman term now.
Yeah.
And he was saying that women in their 30s are like becoming old maids, and that after 35, if you don't have them get a man, you're going to have to be with a cat or a dog even.
Oh my
okay?
goodness. Oh my goodness.
So what do you think about that?
He says some off the wall stuff. Can we just talk about
Yes, let's talk about
off
that.
the meter sometimes. I'm 35.
Okay.
I'm not married.
In
I
the
don't have
prime of
kids.
your life, you're gorgeous.
Thank
I mean, this is
you.
when you really hone into who you are, I think,
Exactly.
in your 30s.
Yeah.
20s is too hard.
Yeah.
It's a learning thing. It's like, hurry up, 20s, go away. So we get into the 30s and then start enjoying life.
Exactly. And so I'm mid-30s.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying life. I like to travel.
Yes.
I want to eventually have kids.
Yes.
That's not completely out of the realm of things.
Uh-huh.
But right now I'm just focusing on, the work.
Right.
I'm focusing on the career. And, if God blesses me with the man.
Not
then
if,
great.
he will.
That's right. Perception is everything.
That's right.
Manifest it, right?
Manifested. Speak it into existence.
Exactly. So if that happens,
Yeah.
when it happens, I should
Yeah,
say.
when it's time.
I'll be ready for it. But I'm not in a rush.
Right.
And I'm glad that God kind of put me through this process right now to focus on the career, to focus
Yes.
on, just my passions right now.
Yeah.
And it'll all kind of fall into place.
Yes.
So what he said about that, I don't agree with him.
No, I don't
because I
agree.
feel like mid-30s, you're in your prime.
Yeah.
You're seeing women have babies. Janet Jackson just had a baby, what?
I know,
40?
if she can do it, we all can, okay?
We definitely can. So, I just feel like that whole timetable
Yes,
thing,
yes.
I think it's out the door. I think that is very just that's a crazy perception to have.
Yeah,
Especially
I
right now with the modern woman.
Yes.
You're seeing women have babies later and later.
Yeah.
You're seeing women put their careers first. And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. It's Women's History Month.
Right.
I'm loving this.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, so if I'm gonna give you some ladies that's in history that's really done some profound things that has actually changed the course of this world.
Okay.
Harriet Tubman, what do you say?
Oh my gosh, trailblazer. Broke barriers.
Yes.
Paved the way.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for her, women wouldn't even probably be working.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
mean, she really just a trailblazer to the core. Yeah, that's what I would say about her.
Yeah. Michelle Obama.
Oh my gosh, exquisite.
Yes.
Every time she enters a room, she's so regal.
Yes, she
She's
is.
so beautiful.
Yes.
She's well spoken. But what I love about Michelle Obama is that she doesn't forget where she comes from.
Yes.
And she seems like she's an approachable woman. Despite all the things,
Yes,
despite being
yeah, I
the
agree.
first lady
I
all
agree.
those years and all of those different,
Yes.
things that, media came against her with different
Yes.
things. Just it's a lot of pressure to
It
have
is.
that role.
It is.
But she always remains regal and
Yes.
just
Very
exquisite,
humble.
and
Yes.
just
She's like everybody's auntie, you know, like you can approach her, you can talk to her.
She is.
I mean, she drops gems all the time, things that you will just, and she gives you courage. It makes you feel like I can do this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And seeing her in that role was so like inspiring.
Yes.
You know, it made you think like I can be the first lady. To see a black woman in that role.
Yes.
It was so encouraging, so inspiring. I loved it. I mean, I would fangirl to the T if I saw her.
Yes,
You know?
yes, I love her.
Me too.
You know, and last but not least, Vice President Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. And the reason why I say that is because she actually changed the world too.
Yeah.
You know, and she gets a lot of negative feedback. But do you feel that's because she's a woman?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think she's the first, you know, African American, Indian American,
Yes,
you know,
brown girl, yeah.
in that position. That's a lot of pressure, and
Yeah.
I think she does catch a lot of slack.
Yeah.
You know, being in that role and having to take on that pressure. But
Yeah.
I feel like if it was anybody else in that role,
Yeah,
they
I don't
wouldn't-
think they would
no.
be. She
But
would
she's
draw
doing
so
a
much
good
attention.
job. I mean,
I think so.
I think she's doing the best that she can
Yes,
with
what
the parts that she's been dealt with.
That's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. Yeah, absolutely. You know, now we just came kind of off this pandemic thing.
Yeah.
So we were locked down for a year. What did you do? Self-reflection. What happened in your lockdown? We want to know.
I ended up making a major move here to Myrtle.
Wow.
But during the lockdown, you know, I had to work from home as a journalist, as a reporter for 10 months, which was really hard. It was hard for me, Queen Alice. It was
Yes.
hard for me to take
Yes,
that on.
it is.
Because, you know, I was in the house.
Yeah.
Your whole day-to-day changes. You have to, you know, figure out how you're going to do your job with limited resources, with the internet constraints.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for me. You
Oh,
know,
boy,
I would have to
yes.
go with my laptop
Yeah.
and drive down the street just to get like,
Oh, wow.
you know, different like, you know, internet abilities, and that was really, really hard. So being able to just kind of like move with the times,
Yes.
and going through the pandemic was tough, but I persevered.
You know, but I wanted
And
to talk a little bit more about the high-valued woman. You're a high-valued woman.
Thank you. I like
You
to
know,
think of
you're
myself
welcome.
as
You
one.
are definitely one. So define that to me.
I think a high value woman is someone who has standards.
Yes.
You know, a lot of times,
Yes.
a lot of women nowadays are trying to go for that quick celebrity with social media and the Instagram. And sometimes, you know, I'm like, when is class going to come back in? You know, the standards.
Yes.
And so
I like that.
I'm still a church girl. I'm old school. I go to church. You know, I stay grounded in the word. And I think that's what has made me or helped me get so far in the
Yes.
career.
Yeah.
Just being grounded in my faith. So yeah, I would like to think I'm definitely high quality, high value.
You are.
Someone with standards.
Yes.
Someone who doesn't, you know, when someone tells them no, find
It's
another way.
non-negotiable. Your standards are non-negotiable.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to walk away from something that doesn't add value
Yes.
to you.
Yes.
That doesn't satisfy you. That
Right.
doesn't highlight your, you know, your career or highlight
Yes.
who you are as a person.
Yes.
You know, definitely don't be afraid to walk away from that.
Okay, so what define a high-valued man?
I think a high valued man is someone who is well versed in God.
Yes.
Someone who keeps their faith 1st. I also have always been told, my daddy told me this actually. He said a man should be able to provide and protect.
Absolutely.
Provide and protect. And yes, women are, you know,
Doing their thing.
They're doing their thing.
Yes.
They're you know, in these careers.
Yes.
They're business owners.
Finding their purpose.
Right, but
Yes.
sometimes it's okay to have a man take care of you and provide and protect you. Provide
Absolutely.
And protect. You know, there's nothing
Yes,
wrong
there's
with that.
nothing wrong with that.
And I guess I'm old school in that kind of retrospect because I've always been told that my
Yeah.
dad was like, you know, you shouldn't be taking care of a man. You know,
My
take care
dad
of
said the
yourself.
same thing. God
Always,
bless
he's
his
like,
soul.
Always have your own, you know,
Yeah.
bank account.
Yes.
Always have your own, you know, your own, just in case something happens. But it is okay for a man to provide for you.
Yeah.
And I think that is, you know, godly man, provide, protect me.
Yes.
There's so many different
Yes.
dangers out in
Yes.
the world. I want a man to be able to protect me. In the time of
Absolutely.
need.
Absolutely. Security is like number one for a woman.
It is.
Number one. I agree with you. My father used to say the same thing. So you believe in traditional marriage?
I
then?
am.
Yes.
I'm a
Yes.
traditionalist at heart.
Yes,
You know. And
absolutely.
society nowadays, God, it's just so much going on with that. But
yeah.
I'm so old school when it comes to that. It's just really important for me to stay true to my values.
Yes.
You know, and don't
Absolutely.
be afraid to be different.
Yes.
You know, because
So
Yeah.
Good question. You know, this is a good answer because this was not even on my paper, but I'm going to ask you. You know, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett.
Oh my God.
Jada coined this new term, situationship. You know, like I never heard that before, but now it's the new coined term, situationship.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think a marriage should be between two people, and I think that you should honor your marriage. And so this situationship, I don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it a lot lately. A lot of people, like, it's so funny. One of my friends, she'll be like, I'll be like, oh, are you dating anybody? Well, I'm in a situationship.
Oh, look what Jada started.
You know, so, I mean, what they have works for them, and that's fine. It's just not something that I, you know, aspire to have.
I agree.
I want someone that's gonna, you know, be faithful to me, and I don't want to dip out and, you know, be able to, you know, you have these marriages where they could do what they want, and that's fine. But that's just not something that I want for my future husband and my relationship.
I agree. So if you could go back and talk to the little girl, what would you tell her?
Oh my gosh, I would tell her, don't worry about what people think of you. Yeah. You know, like, I think growing up, sometimes women, it could be a lot. You know, it's the pressure of having to be perfect. And it's just not, you know, it's not, it's okay if it doesn't happen in this world. It's not possible. I agree. Nothing is perfection.
Nothing.
And so I would tell my little self, Annette, don't worry about what people think. Stay true to yourself. And dare to be different. You know, and that's what I would also tell my younger self to get organized. Now that I'm like 35,
now you get that.
So many different things that I'm now like just trying to like stay ahead of the game and stay organized and have my planner. And, you know, also like, you know, not let things rattle me so much. You know what I mean? So I would tell my younger self to stay organized and always just stay true to yourself. And don't care about other people's opinions of you.
It will stifle you.
Everybody's going to have an opinion of you.
It definitely will stifle you. You know, absolutely. You know, and you said something about perfection. This wasn't on my paper either, but I'm just going with the flow here.
Let's go.
You know, K. Michelle. Champion her right now for what she's doing. You know, because she has talked to the girls on Instagram, you know, about people on Instagram and they're wanting this so-called perfect body, but there is no perfect body. They're designing themselves basically like a Barbie doll, and they're ending up with a lot of health risk problems from plastic surgery. What would you say to the little black girls, the little brown girls who feel they have to do this, and why?
You know, that show, she's now part of My Killer Body or something. You know, because I know she got a lot of plastic surgery as well. You know, I would tell little girls, don't do that to your bodies. You know, be natural. Natural is in. And I think a lot of times on social media, you know, don't get caught up in social media. Like, because when you go to the post and you see that perfect body, a lot of times it's got filters on it, and that woman looks nothing like how she looks. You know, so stay, like, love yourself.
Love yourself.
If God made you, I've got big hips. You know, I'm hippie. And I've just embraced it.
It's God genetics. So do I.
Stay, like, just love yourself. Don't get caught up in having to have this perfect body or implants or the new thing is the Brazilian butt lifts. Oh my gosh. You know, it's so dangerous. It is so dangerous.
And the thing is, don't we have enough AZZ as it is? I mean, like, what more do we need?
We don't need it. Honestly, natural is in to me. I feel like natural will always be in. Go to the gym, you know, for that teenager, for that high schooler that may be a little bit overweight and wants to lose some weight. You know, just go to the gym. Go to the gym, drink your water. Drink your fruits and vegetables. Like, do it the natural way. Because, you know, 15 years from now, you get that Brazilian butt lift, ain't no telling what your butt's going to look like.
Oh, my gosh,
it's just not, I'm just not a fan of plastic surgery. You know, I've just never been a fan. But to each his own.
No judgment zone here. This is what Queen's Court is about. No judgment zone. But we are talking about health risks because we are concerned about women and how they feel about themselves and their perception of themselves. Listen, comparison is the thief of joy.
I'm so glad you said that. That was in my devotion earlier this week. It is such a thief of joy.
Yeah.
Because everybody was made uniquely different.
Yes.
And one person's beauty
Yeah.
isn't, could
Yeah.
be another person's.
Right.
Like, everybody has their own features.
Absolutely.
And don't get caught up in having to look a certain way. Not a perfect way, a certain
Yes,
way.
a
Because
certain
nothing's
way.
perfect.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own
Yeah.
beauty features.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at your face now. You are gorgeous.
Oh, bless your heart. God bless her. You know.
gorgeous.
Thank you so much. You are too. And that's what we need to do. We need to
Yeah.
uplift ourselves
I
and
agree.
other women instead of always feel like we're in competition.
Right?
It should be a
think that's-
sisterhood.
It should be. And I think that still happens
Is
right
that
now.
from society?
Yeah, I think
and
so.
And like the mediocrity and the media and all that stuff.
I-
Who
yeah.
started this? Stop! I'm sick of it already.
Me too.
You know?
We can all have a seat at the table.
Yes,
and
I love
think
that.
When people truly realize that, it's better to have a team of people than just one.
Right.
So instead of bickering with someone who you may think is competition with
Yeah.
you, go to that young lady and
Yeah.
be like, hey, how can we help one another?
Yes.
How can we build together?
Yes.
And I guarantee you'll get more progress with working together.
Absolutely.
Than being, in competition with one another.
She's awesome, okay? I'm gonna tell you something out here, you high valued men. If you're not, don't even talk to her. She's special, all right?
Don't hop in
okay.
my DMs now.
But I was gonna ask you, what inspires you to get up every morning and do what you do?
Oh my gosh, I think just genuinely helping people. I'm not gonna lie, Queen. I sometimes, I have low
Yeah.
points too.
We all do, we're human.
We've all gone through
Yeah.
it. And there's some days where I get up and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this today.
Yes,
And
yes.
what keeps me going is, I know that there's young girls looking at me on the news.
Absolutely.
And I know that there's someone
Yes.
that I'm inspiring, that I'm
Yes.
encouraging, and
Uh-huh.
that's what keeps me
That's
going.
what keeps you going.
That's what keeps
Yes.
me going. My faith, staying grounded in my faith, and knowing that I am positively influencing a young girl.
Yes, and you are.
And that's what keeps me going.
And that's so important. I think that when we think about other people, we bless other people, it comes back full circle.
It does.
Absolutely.
It really, really does.
Yes, that's awesome. Yes. Oh, moving
loving
right
this
along. I'm
conversation.
loving it too. So when we say self-care, how do you define self-care?
I think self-care is doing something that you enjoy that does not involve work. So, I think a lot of times we can get up into our passion projects.
Yes.
Where we're really motivated about
Yeah,
it, and
uh-huh.
I'm a workaholic.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Are you one of those night owls like me? Because I'm a night
Yes.
owl. I have to actually say, go to bed.
I'm a night
Go to
owl.
bed.
And I work nights, so I don't get off until like 11:40ish.
Yes.
And I'm at home, and I'm like, oh, what can I do next?
And you're
Or-
still up. You're
and I'm
wound
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But self-care is so crucial for
It
just
is
your overall
very-
mental
yes,
health.
yes.
And it could be as simple as just going and getting a pedicure. Like yesterday, I knew I had a lot to do, but I went and got my nails and my feet
And
done.
they look great.
Thank you, love.
Compliments to the salon.
Because I was like, I want to do something for myself that
Yes.
makes me feel good.
Yes.
And I think that is so needed to just take some time out, even if it's just an hour of your day.
Definitely.
Just take an hour of your, let's say you had a busy week, and Saturday comes, take an hour, do something. If you like to watch reality shows, watch reality shows. If
Yes.
you like my Housewives, I like to watch the Housewives.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
my guilty pleasure.
Yes, yeah. We all have our little guilty pleasures.
my
I'm
guilty
into the Married at First Sight now. I'm still
You
trying to
know,
figure
my
out.
sister's doing that right now.
I'm stuck on that. My mother's in The Bachelor. I'm in Married at First Sight. We all have our little junk food.
Yes,
Yeah.
we love that. And it's okay. It's okay to have those things. And
Yes.
I think that's what self-care is about. Being able to just do something that doesn't constitute exactly as work.
Exactly.
And something that makes you feel good at the end of the day.
Yes, self-love.
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 Because
Absolutely.
if you don't love yourself, if you don't pour into yourself, no, people can't do that for you.
Yeah, and people can sense when you don't love yourself because they're always angry and upset about something.
That's
you know,
true.
and that means they're unhappy and they have to really self-reflect and find out what that's about.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always say, if you're not sick, because some people are sick and you can understand why they're unhappy.
Right.
You know, I always say get medical attention or, if you need a counselor or something, get that help.
Yes, I just actually started, and I'm not ashamed to say this.
No,
Reine.
there's nothing wrong with
I
that.
started therapy. And I actually started therapy in Memphis when I was living in Memphis. I had to
Yeah.
stop it because it was very expensive, but I just picked it back up.
Okay.
And it helps me.
Oh, yes.
Because I suffer from anxiety
Uh-huh.
sometimes, just to
Yeah.
be completely
Yeah.
transparent.
Yeah.
And it's important to
Yeah.
make sure that the same way that you go to the gym
Absolutely.
and you work out, it's okay to
Mental
make sure
health
that
is
mental
so
health
important.
is so important. Train your mind to think positive thoughts and you would gain positive results.
That's right.
But also, it's okay. I think there's this stigma in the Black community when it
Definitely.
comes to therapy.
Definitely.
It's okay to go and get some
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
And to go and talk to someone.
Absolutely.
If you feel like you're
Absolutely.
depressed, or if you feel like you're going through something, you may need a professional to help you with that.
Yeah.
And
I
there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. And I always say, where there's no wealth without health.
Yes.
They
I love
have
that.
to be hand in hand. No wealth without health. You
Yes.
can't do one without the other.
You really can't.
And wealth is not just about finances. It's about having a wealth of good things in your life. You know, family, friends, good food, travel, which is my next question.
Oh.
Where would you like to travel outside of the country?
I love traveling.
Yes.
My favorite place is Turks and Caicos.
Oh,
I've
tell
been
me
there
about
before. Oh, it's beautiful there. I absolutely encourage anyone, if they have an opportunity to get out of the country, to do it. Get your passport.
Oh,
Only
yeah.
$150?
Yes.
Get your passport and travel. It really does help me when I'm, being a journalist. It can get busy being an
Yes.
anchor for
Yes.
13. It
Yes.
can be very busy. So being able to just kind of step away and do my traveling is beautiful. Turks and Caicos is gorgeous. The water, this water is beautiful, but the water is sea green.
Oh, wow.
White sand beaches.
Beautiful,
Oh,
yes.
it's gorgeous.
Yes.
And it's about an hour flight from Miami,
Oh,
It's
really?
not-
We
it's
have to
not far
check
at
that
all.
out. I got to check that out
Yes,
then.
add it to your
Okay.
travel list. Turks and Caicos.
Definitely, definitely.
Puerto Rico is also a
Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful place. I love Puerto
too.
Rico.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the diversity. The food is awesome.
It's very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on your bucket list, what would you say that everybody has a list of things that they want to do in life.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself going from here?
One of the goals of this year is to enroll in graduate student.
Okay.
Schools.
She just wants to be extra smart. She doesn't have to be. She just wants to be.
I've been in the profession now for 14 years, and I want to teach journalism.
Okay,
I remember my professors, and I remember the way that they poured into me.
Yes.
My professors have become my mentors. And so I want to be able to give that back
Okay.
to someone
Yeah.
that aspires to be a news anchor or
Okay.
a radio personality
Yes.
or a YouTuber,
Yes.
whatever they want to do. I want to positively influence them and help them with their goals. So
That's
graduate
awesome.
school is in the works. I'm
Okay.
applying to Coastal
Okay.
Carolina.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this summer. Another goal of mine is to also just build the brand. Grow
Yes.
as an anchor.
Yes.
Grow as an anchor, but then I also want to have my own consulting company where I help people who may not be great public speakers,
Yeah.
help them,
Okay.
and train them
Yes.
with their public speaking and
Yes.
how to, because it
A
can
coach,
be,
yes.
coach them. It can
Yes.
be a little nerve wracking to get
Yeah.
in front of a group of people and to be able to speak, and share your story. And so that is also a goal of mine, to have my own consultant firm and help young people or help whoever that wants skills to, appropriately present their stories to do that well.
All right, next question. Where does marriage, do you see that in the future for you? I mean, like, everybody in their mind has an age, they want to get married and have children. How are we going to squeeze that in?
I know. So I used to, it's so funny, like my late 20s, I used to be like, oh, I want to have this by 30, this by 32. Queen, that's gone off the window.
That's going already, right?
I'm 35.
Moving
I'm
on.
pushing 36. Then let's just keep it real.
Yeah, right.
But it is something that I do want. I still pray about it.
Yes.
And I think it will happen
Yes.
eventually. I do want to get married. I do want to have children. I have nieces and nephews that I love to death.
Yes.
And
so you're like the best auntie right
yes,
now.
I'm Queen. They call me Aunt Nene. And I love being able to pour into them, but then also give them back to mom and dad when they start to act a little crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to mom and dad. But I love kids. I've always been just a person that gravitates towards children. I love kids.
I love children.
And I want to have a family. That is something that is still a goal of mine. And I'm not giving up on that yet.
Okay. So hypothetically, if Mr. Right just walked in the door like today, how are you going to fit him into your schedule? How are you going to do that?
I think you can make time, I think you can make time for the things that you love.
That's right. I agree.
And a lot of times, it is busy. It does get busy, right?
Yes.
Like you have a lot of different projects that you're working on. You have your 9 to 5, or in my case, my 2 to 11:30. So you have your job, but if you really care about someone, and if that's something that you really want, you'll make time for it.
Yes.
And I think in my place right now, I date, and Well,
I was going to say,
have
do you have time?
Well, yeah, I do. You know, I
Good,
have a
good.
boyfriend, and
Yeah.
you know, we're working through things.
Good,
but,
good.
But it does get a little busy, and I think if you just map out time for your relationship,
Yeah, you
a
have to do
relationship
that.
is hard work.
It is. It's the hardest work.
It
And the
really
marriage will be
is.
even harder.
I know. So right now,
Yeah.
I'm just good, Queen, with just focusing
Yeah,
on me and my, you know, my personal projects. And, you know, if Mr. Right comes along, he better fit in. He better get in where he can fit in.
Okay, now,
Because-
you heard that? That's the modern woman for you. That's the modern woman for
in,
you.
come on.
Get in where you can fit in.
Be a part of my passion project.
There you go. There you go. All right.
It's the truth, though.
Yeah, it is the
you
truth.
know, but
It
I literally think that God will bless me with someone who understands my hopes and dreams, understands what I want to do, and it will fit in, and it will fit in well. So.
So we hope that this boyfriend is listening to this. He better hurry up and fit in.
Girl, child, no, let me go.
That's that girl talk, girl. You know what I'm saying? Off the record, okay?
No, but yeah.
Yes, I get
it'll
it. I
all
get
work
it.
out.
Yeah, it'll work out.
Yeah.
So where would you like to retire? If you had any place in the world that you would like to live and just settle down?
Oh my gosh, California.
California, why?
I'm going there next month. I love it out there. We're going to Santa Ana.
Okay.
My brother, he's celebrating his 40th birthday. And so we're, well, oh, I hope he's not listening. I don't think he's listening.
No,
But
okay.
anyway, I won't. Yes, we're going to Santa Ana, and we're going to have a good time. I love California. I just love it out there. It's just a different environment.
Yeah.
The weather's always nice. It's
Okay.
beautiful. Malibu Beach is a beautiful area.
Oh.
LA is gorgeous.
Oh, I have to check it out. I've
So-
never been to California. I'd
Oh
love
my
to go.
Gosh, you've got
Yeah.
that. That's on the
Oh,
list.
okay,
It needs to be on the
definitely,
list, 'cause
definitely.
It's just life changing. I love
Okay.
going out there. It's different. You know, it's such a plethora of people, different nationalities. You know,
I love
It's a
diversity.
melting pot.
I
It's a
love different
melting pot of people.
foods. Yeah.
I love Cali. That would be the place I retire.
Awesome. So the world is your classroom. What would you say to people? The world is your classroom because you are a journalist.
Yes.
So you've learned a lot about the world and how it works.
Oh yeah.
What would you say to little girls and little boys out there, kings and queens that's coming up about the world being your classroom?
Oh my gosh, soak in everything that you can.
I love
you know,
that.
pay attention
I love
in
that.
class.
Yes.
You know, it can be hard, especially with the pandemic. A lot of
Ooh,
schooling is
yes.
from home now.
School's
and
been a turnoff for the kids now.
It has been a turnoff.
Yes.
You know, like kids are not excited about learning anymore. But I think that really does help you in your career and produces beautiful queens and kings.
Yes.
When they can soak in all that knowledge and
Yes.
learn all that you can and take it all in and be able to apply it. You know. Honestly, the habits that you make in grade school now
Yes.
are the habits that you're going to have as an adult. So if you like to read, if you like to write, if you like to study, those are all things that will transpire into your adulthood. But you have to start training yourself as a child. You have to start training
Yes.
yourself in the schooling.
I agree. I agree.
Those, you know,
I agree.
positive habits.
Okay, so what would you say to the single parent that has a child and they don't have like a two-parent home
Yeah.
and they're struggling, and even if they have parents that are not really about education, what could they do?
I would say find a mentor. You
Okay.
know, I mean, we do see
That's-
that a
that's-
lot. We see
that's a
a
good
lot
answer.
of,
Yeah, absolutely.
We see a lot of children that are being raised in single parent homes,
Yeah,
and the mom
yeah,
or the
yeah.
dad has 2-3 jobs,
Yes.
and they're not present, and they're
yeah.
being raised by the television, and that's
Yeah.
simply just not healthy.
It's not healthy at all.
And so
It's not
find a
healthy.
professional mentor. Get involved in your YMCA. Get involved in the Boys and Girls Club. Find those positive outlets
Yes.
where you can find professionalism or find professional people.
Yes.
And you could gravitate towards them.
Yes.
It could be a coach. Get involved in sports.
Yeah,
it could be-
sports
it
is
could be-
really a good team. When you're in a sport, it helps build,
It
so many
does.
different relationships in sports, especially if you're in a team type
Yeah.
sport.
Yep. Like
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah.
Like growing up, I wasn't the best basketball player. I'm
Uh-huh.
not like a sporty
So-
girl.
okay.
But my dad was like, he thought I was going to be in the WNBA, and I'm
Oh.
like, Dad, I'm barely getting 2 points here.
And you're
Come
not
on.
that tall.
I'm just not. I'm just not that person. But my
Yeah.
dad made sure that I was in basketball, track and field, softball, and it helped
That
team
does
building,
help build
and it helped
your
discipline.
character
Yeah.
and discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Wow, we are just unpacking so much good stuff here. Wow.
we're helping somebody.
Yes,
I know we are.
we are helping somebody.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so what do you say to all the young people who are now just caught up in the Instagram and celebrityism? Because you know what has happened now is like people don't think they need education.
Yeah.
And I can tell that you're an educator because I'm a teacher too. I did special needs before pandemic. But so what about those children that just don't like school and they think, well, I can be famous anyway. So
Don't
what do
go
you
for
tell
that
them?
quick fix, you know. I think it's this quick like celebrity, or I can be a YouTuber, or
Yeah.
but not getting
Yeah.
the schooling to back that up.
Right.
But I think that is just such a you're crippling yourself if you do that, because it's something just really good about old school learning and
Yeah.
just getting those basic
The knowledge,
the
yeah.
knowledge, the
Yeah.
basic training. That is just so important.
It is
And
very.
so, I say to people don't get caught up in what you see online, because if you do that, that's going to take you down a path that can lead to depression. It can lead to drug
Oh, yeah.
addiction.
Definitely.
It can lead to alcoholism. It can lead to a lot of just negative things if you get caught up in that, because it's not real. You're only seeing a snippet of people's lives online.
Yes.
And you're thinking, oh, I have to
Yeah,
have to be this way. I
exactly.
have to do this way. No.
No.
Develop those healthy
Yeah.
habits at a young age in your grade schooling. Get a part of a church. Join a church home. Get in front of positive
Yes.
people that can influence
That is
you
so
in a
important.
positive way.
Yeah, that is really important, to trying to find people who can mentor you.
Yeah,
I feel bad. So now let's talk about politics.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, what do you think about what's going on in Texas, but all these rules for women and how they're trying to change things and
Yeah.
take control over our lives? I feel like I'm going back to Handmaid's Tale. If anybody's seen it, Google it.
Oh, I did watch that show. That is a crazy show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some truth to it.
It is, and it's really scary.
It is scary.
What's going on in our legislation?
Yeah.
When it comes to women, and oh God, you just have to pray for your lawmakers.
Yes.
Because those are the people that are making these decisions.
Yes.
But also, I do want to say, I'm a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Yes. Great. Yes. All
My
right.
sorors behind the scenes taking pictures right now. Thank you. And one of the things that the sorority really instills in us is to learn how to be an active part of the legislation.
Yes.
And so we just had Delta Days at the nation's capital.
Good.
Where we actually learned how to contact a legislator and tell them
Good.
about a bill that you want to see pushed forward and how to advocate for those laws.
Yes.
And it's so important. And people don't realize that they have that power.
Yes, we
have the
do.
power.
It starts at the bottom.
It
doesn't
does.
start at the top. People think it starts at the top.
Yeah,
Did I drop something?
no,
That's
you're
okay.
fine. No, it starts at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's so that advocacy, learning
Yeah.
how to advocate for what you truly believe in.
Yeah.
And so with what's going on in Texas, I just encourage people to reach out to their local legislators. It could be your state representative, your state senators.
Yes.
Start there.
Absolutely.
Reach out to them, and there's so many different ways you can do it. You could write a letter, you can email them, and they may not answer. You may have to do some cold calling. You may have to call them. You may have to just pop up and say, "Hey, can I talk to you?"
Yes. Yeah.
There are different ways that you can have a positive impact and influence on state laws and on the laws that affect us. And that's what Delta Days at the nation's capital told us. I mean, they taught us how to do those things.
That's
and
awesome.
It was just such an amazing experience.
That is a sisterhood.
It is. It really
Yes,
is.
it's strength in numbers.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
that's what we need. We need the numbers to change the game.
Yes. Is it doesn't just happen overnight.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just happen with one person. It takes a village.
It does.
To truly make change in your community, rally for that change. Get together with like-minded people. Get with people that want to want to make an impact on if there's a law or a bill that's in committee and you don't want to see that bill pass. Get with your team. Find out a way to rally for that so that it doesn't get passed. Reach out to your local legislators. These are things that are literally available at the tip of our fingers.
Yes.
We just have to know how to do it.
Yeah.
And there are resources out there that will
Lots
teach
of
you
resources
how to do that.
Absolutely. And so you never thought about going into politics, and you
No.
sound like a politician.
Oh God, no.
Okay.
That's not my. You have different skills.
Yes.
And
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
not my passion. No, I'm just gonna stick to the
Okay. So what do you think about what's going on with the men today? Do you feel that they're becoming too feminized?
Oh my God, yeah. You know,
This is a scary thing.
It is very scary. It is, and I hope I don't get slack for this, but I am seeing a lot of men.
Too much feminine energy. I'm going to say it. I'm a queen. I can say what I want to say. Too much feminine energy. I'm an alpha. I need an alpha man.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of that going on. And I don't know where that comes from.
I don't
know
either.
Where that's stemming from, but I am seeing a lot of that in our society. And I was not raised like that. You know, I was just raised, a man is, like I said at the beginning of this conversation, protect and provide.
Right.
But also just be a man. You know,
Yes.
there's just certain things. And I hope I don't get slack for this, but because
You
I
will.
am a powerful woman.
Probably.
But at the same time.
You have to be true to yourself.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
There are men out here that are letting women just do it all, and they've become very feminine,
Yes.
feminine in nature, and I'm not a fan of it.
I'm trying to
not a
figure
fan
out
of
where
what's going on
that's
with that.
coming from, and where is
Yeah.
all this feminine energy coming from? You know, we could say maybe they didn't have a male in the home.
That could, I mean,
You know, there's
yeah.
so many variables that could be a possibility with that. But, and I do hope that we don't get to a point where there's just not enough men anymore, you know?
Oh my gosh! You know, when I went to Hampton,
Yeah.
you know, this is an alarming kind of stat. For every 7 women, there was 1 male.
Ooh.
And so in a
Wow.
lot of my classes, this
Wow.
was 14 years ago when I went to Hampton. So in a lot of my classes, you would have a ton of women, and I went to a HBCU, so historically black college. So a ton of women and then 1 male. You
Yeah.
know, it's just our black men. They need to be celebrated. They need to know that they are important.
Right.
But the sad reality is, a lot of our black men are being locked up inappropriately.
This is that was my next
Yeah,
question.
and they're you know,
Yes.
the system is trained to keep them not prevailing or not succeeding.
Yes.
And I didn't even think of it, you know, back 14 years ago when I was in college. But now looking back and seeing how my classroom was made up,
Yes.
you know, black men are becoming extinct. And so it's very important that we salute them, that we, you know,
Yes.
pour into them.
Yes.
But they also need to do the same with us.
Absolutely.
They need to
Absolutely.
also treat us as queens as well.
Yes, absolutely.
It needs to be a reciprocation.
Yeah, there seems to be some type of separation going on now.
Yeah.
Seem like the women are just rising and just like performing better, and even though, but they haven't caught up. And like you said, it could be a lot of reasons why that has happened.
Right.
You know. So then my next question is, why do you feel African American men start going towards other races to date when they have these strong females?
Yeah.
What do you think where is that coming from?
You know, Queen Alice, I struggled with this because,
Yeah.
you know, in my 20s, I would see a lot of African American males and, you know,
Yeah.
relationships with
Yeah.
white women. And
Yeah.
I never understood that. I was be like, why couldn't they get a black queen? But
Right.
I've learned to just accept that people love who they love.
That's what I say
My
too.
brother is married to an Asian American.
Yeah.
And she's a part of our family.
Yes.
She's been a part of our family for years now.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yes.
Like, she is my sister.
Yes.
You know?
Uh-huh.
And so I've gotten to that point where it's like, you love who you love.
Right.
And it doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah, it's
There-
maturity too. You know,
I think so.
I think it
I
is.
think it's a maturity
Yeah.
thing too. And
Yeah.
just know that whoever is meant for you will be for you.
I agree.
But it does get, you know, I can't lie. There are times where I do look at, you know, our society and the media, and I see a professional black man, and, you know, I Google him, and I'm like, oh, you know, but it's just, you love who you
Yeah.
love, and that's
I
fine.
agree.
But at the same time, black queens need to be respected.
Yes.
You know, we
Yes.
need to be respected. And
Yeah.
I think that love needs to be brought back, you know,
Right.
to us.
Yes.
And I think a lot of we are the most loyal creatures, I feel
I
like.
agree.
Black women are so loyal.
Yeah.
Like, we
we
so
are.
loyal to our black men, but it's not reciprocated.
Yeah.
And you know, Dick Gregory said during the State of the Black Union one time, like, he said, we need to love our black women again.
Yes.
And it's so true.
Yeah.
We need to instill that. And I think it starts with how, you know, you never know. They may not have had that black woman love.
That's what
or
I was
It
thinking.
may have been something in the childhood that
That's what I was
didn't
thinking. It might
click.
be, yeah.
But at the same time, I do believe that you love who you love, and interracial marriages are happening at an all-time high right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's in my family.
Yeah.
And that's and
In mine.
nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
Nothing wrong with
but
that.
just don't discriminate.
Right.
You know,
That's
love
what
who
my
you
thing
love,
is.
But don't say, oh, I'm not going to date a black
Yeah,
woman.
yes.
Or I'm not going to date a Hispanic
Yes.
woman. Or
Keep
Asian
an open
American.
mind to any race.
Exactly.
Keep an open mind. That's what
Yeah,
it's about.
it is.
You know, my background, my mother's mother, they're Native American and married a black man. So we have Native Americans in our family. You know, my father's family, the entire Clayton clan is Caucasian because my father was born in 25.
Wow.
So if you go 2 steps back, it's all white,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. It doesn't matter who you marry as long as it's for the right reasons. See, that's what my thing is. Why are you doing it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love is one thing, but do it for the right reason.
Do it
But
for
I
the-
am happy to say one thing,
Yeah.
that the world, you know, although we see a lot of things going on in politics with racism, but I am happy to see that young people, like my son, they don't see that. They, you know, even though the older ones keep saying, yes, they do. I have been in conversations with my younger son who always says, Mom, why do you say that? You know, so, and I noticed that when I was in the classroom, children just love being with each other.
Yes.
So I'm
yes.
happy to see that the world is changing in a way that children, the next generations behind us,
Yeah.
will not be so negative about
Yes.
this, because it is really only skin deep.
It really
It
is.
it really is.
It's what's in the inside that
Yes,
counts. And-
absolutely.
And I just really, I'm so glad that you said that, because I think now with the younger generations, they have become more accepting.
Yes.
And they have become,
Yes.
you know, inclusive.
Just leave the children alone, people. Let them play and have fun, okay?
Yes, but don't discriminate.
Yes.
I would say that.
Children get bad habits from adults.
They do. They definitely do. It starts in
Yeah,
the
it
home.
starts in the
Starts in
home,
the home.
you know, and then it just keeps on going.
Yeah.
But if you leave children alone, they
Yeah.
are fine.
They are absolutely okay.
Yes, I agree with that. Yes, so, okay, thank you, everybody. I just want to say that you're lovely.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for
whoever,
this opportunity.
you're so welcome.
This is beautiful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And whoever is lucky enough, blessed enough to be with this godly, beautiful, intelligent woman, you better grab her up now where she can fit you in, okay?
Get it how you fit it, people. And can I shout out my social?
Yes,
if you
of
don't mind?
course.
So I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. Annette Pegler is the name. My Instagram's Annette_Eva. My Twitter is Annette_Pegler. I'm on Facebook. Please follow me.
Please.
And please support. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
And you know what? I have some flowers here
Oh.
because, you know, we don't want our flowers when we're in the ground. We want our flowers now, and she
That is
deserves
so
flowers.
sweet. Thank
Okay?
you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you so much.
God
And
bless
thank you
you.
for this platform.
You're so
and
welcome.
Thank you for what you're doing.
I
Because I
appreciate
think
it.
It's very important to have these types of conversations.
Yes.
Because they do help people. And
They
to
do.
have this
I agree.
platform is beautiful. So
Thank
you
you
for
so
allowing me
much.
to be a part of your show.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I hope you'll come back again.
Oh, absolutely.
I really appreciate
And I'm going to
you.
bring some of my friends.
That'd be awesome. Then we can have like a whole couch full of women. That'd be great.
We love it. Girl power.
Yes, girl
Women's
power.
history.
Yes. So this is Queen's Court Conversation here with me, Queen D, and we have here Annette, Queen Annette Pegler, who's running the world. As you can see, she's a trailblazer, you know, and you can find me on Instagram with Reine, which means the Queen in me in French. Follow me on YouTube, subscribe, like, keep your comments respectable. I appreciate it. I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.